Could you really briefly tell me when you came to me originally, why did we connect? What was the kickoff of this whole thing?
Kickoff was I realized the potential that AI and programming had, and I didn't know how to integrate it in my life. And I had just one little idea that originally I had reached out and I found that you are the guy who can create these things. And so out of just sheer curiosity, I dialed the number. And that's how we connected with just it was just one little pain point that I knew technology could solve. And that's how we connected.
Awesome. What was the problem you were looking to solve?
The problem that I was looking to solve was loss of data between people. When running a business with multiple employees and a lot of data and information, it was 98% of them make it to documentation and the 2% falling through, which I think is a very common problem every business has. And I was tired of it. And I know that with technology and proper programming, you can take that 98% and bring it to 100%. And that was the problem. Like essentially, in a nutshell, it was just data information getting lost between myself and other employees.
How has the collaboration process been working with me on this project?
One of my favorite things that I think I've done over the last year. I can honest to God say that I've never felt so cared for. I've never felt so heard and listened to. And then one thing that I actually thought about you, Dylan, was you have a way of taking something, just an imagination, just somebody trying to describe it to you. You have a way of illustrating it exactly how I was trying to word things. Like you have a way of understanding what I think probably everybody around you, whatever I was trying to communicate, you could almost feel it and see it with me, but help bring it to light. And every time we had a discussion about it, um, I came away from that discussion feeling very welcomed, very understood. And I was always impressed with your ability to compute that so quickly and bring it to like a visual presentation. And so I was always impressed with that.
Thank you, man. That means a lot. It really does.
Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome. What did you find most valuable or most unique about this?
Couple things. The first time that we tested this program out and it worked, like the joy that I felt and like the excitement that I felt that you and your team were able to bring that to reality was just like it was a very cool feeling. So that was one thing that I really enjoyed. And then most valuable and unique both was like I kind of touched on it already was very valuable that I was understood so quickly. It just made sense and then things moved very fast and efficiently. That's the other thing. The way that you would slow my mind down and be like, "Hey man, this is a step-by-step process," and you always remain calm. Like you always remain collected. When I was like all pumped up, we should do this, and this. You were like, "Love it. Let's document it." But hey, one at a time. And I don't think that myself or anybody like I think everybody needs that type of person in their lives, and you have that uncanny ability to absorb the excitement, be as excited, but be like, but hang on, we're gonna go back to the very first tiniest detail and document that and solve that first. And I always appreciated your ability to calm me down. I'm like, yeah, you're right. Actually, this makes sense. So that I think brought a huge amount of value to the table and in a sense of not getting lost in the excitement as well, because I think that happens a lot too. And you had, like I said, it was very impressive the way that you just kept things level line that kept the ball rolling. I don't think we ever lost momentum once. I think it was just constant step by step by step properly. Just I mean everything was just executed to perfection, I think. And I think you have to do that with a calm, collected mind. And I think that was a huge value brought to the table that a lot of other people probably get lost in the weeds with because they're chasing nine balls at once. And you just never get distracted by shiny things. So you were just, nope, this is first, this is second, this is third. And it was all for a year straight. It was always like that. And I always appreciated that. And I think brought a tremendous amount of value to this whole operation.
Awesome, man. Was there a particular moment that exceeded your expectations or you're most proud of?
I would say, damn, there's a lot of like every scope of work we did at the end was my expectations were exceeded. Like at the end of every scope of work, they were, and I was like, wow, I'm so happy that got through. I'm so happy they finalized that. They did that. So quite literally every single scope of work was my expectations were exceeded, and that I was very and constantly happy with. So like a single one, probably the most recent one when we got the expense through with the photos just in time for that meeting. I mean, the timing of that couldn't have been any better. Like, so that was just so exciting for me too. Like that one in particular, probably just because it was most recently. That one and the first one, like when that text went through and it executed, man, I was like, yeah, like so pumped about it. Yeah.
That's awesome, man. Really is. How would you describe your like overall satisfaction, like with the collaboration and the outcomes, like everything that's happened?
20 out of 10, 100 out of 10. I mean, like I said before, you never missed a step. You never came in lower than my expectations. It was calm, cool, and collected. And communication, oh my God, you were reachable at any time of the day. And if you weren't, hey man, I'll call you in a couple hours. Like you were always there to talk, always to answer questions. I mean, communication, which is huge when running a business. I mean, you nailed that. Like it couldn't have been any better. You and your entire team, so I think that was one that I was just always impressed with too, and that brought a lot of value to the table as well as your ability to communicate. Um, and so that's yeah, that's what I think about that.
Awesome, man. Would you recommend our services to others? If so, why?
Absolutely, I would. I would recommend it because there wasn't one task, one idea that you just shot down, and everything, and because with technology the way it is, everything is possible, but it's just a lot of work. And you guys were never scared of it. You guys were like, yeah, we'll do it, sign it up, like you know what I mean. And I think anybody looking to design any kind of program needs that structure. Everything you bring to the table, communication, the calmness, and the structure and the step by step, and then your ability to see the vision. Anybody at all looking to build anything, I think, should hire you for those reasons.
Awesome, man. Last question. Is there anything else that you'd like to add that we haven't covered?
No, I mean, as far as recommendations and shit, also just Dylan in general. People are watching Dylan's just a cool guy. Like he'll just call you to shoot the shit. Like I made a friend out of this deal, and that I'm proud to say that. And overall, is one of the best experiences that I had. That I took a complete stranger. I didn't know Dylan. I live in Minnesota. Dylan lives in California. The first time I saw him was a TikTok video, and so I was like, "This guy makes apps. Let's see it." Click the button, and just out of curiosity, I just called the number, and that's how we met. And like that's I never, but I made a friend out of it because Dylan's not just good at running a business. He's good at being a person, and I've made a friend because of it.
Yeah, man. Me too. Me too. All right, that's it. That's all I got. We all choked up. Shit.